Hello, 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 and happy Monday. I hope that you are ready for another episode of Lunch with Faride. Today, we're going to have, actually, I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pronounce it, okay? But it's an ontological life coach and a great friend who's going to come and teach us a couple of things on how to meditate, how to live life to the fullest in the best space possible. I'm so excited to introduce you to my friend Albert Duarte, who's coming on in just a few seconds. So stay tuned so you can learn a few things about meditation and all that good stuff. So we'll be right back. There you go. I hope that pumped you up. Hopefully everybody's doing great this Monday morning. I just noticed something really quick, so give me a minute. Don't worry. We got this. Somebody just texted me and said, hey, you're on the wrong show today. So let's get that going. Okay. I apologize. It's Monday. It's raining. It's a beautiful day. We just had hail in San Diego. Do you ever see that scene? No. So the way I see it is, while you're complaining about the rain, you're complaining about the hail, you're complaining about it, I'm over here saying, hey, God is with us, and he's sending us messages through rain and hail because God knows our earth needs it. So thank you for being here today. I'm so excited for our show today. You know, have you ever been in a position where life just keeps hitting you and keeps hitting you and keeps hitting you, and you're like, what the heck? Can this bad luck or this, black cloud kind of go away from my life? Can it please? I say that often. And I never really know what the reason is, or I never even care to stop and try to become a victim of it. But I do know that there's ways to go through life and make it better so we can stop going through all of that. Some people call it luck or bad luck, right? Some people call it, hey, you are in the wrong place at the wrong time or with the wrong company. Whatever it is, I have a friend today that I want to introduce you. He's coming here to kind of give us his perspective. I always want to introduce you to great people with great stories. So let's not make him wait anymore. He is backstage waiting to come up. This is kind of like if we were in a live show. This is where all the audience will get up and help me welcome my good friend, Albert Duarte. Welcome, Albert.
Hi there. Thank you.
How are you this morning? Happy Monday.
Happy Monday. I'm fantastic. It did rain here last night. It poured, and just to go off a little bit of what you were saying about how some of the excuses, some of the mindsets that we get into, and Monday morning, I'm sure a lot of people woke up and said, I have to go to work. Now, in the whole space of coaching and ontological coaching, you listen to the language, and the language is saying, I have to. And other people are creating a resistance already on a Monday morning to get to work. And instead of saying, I get to go, where when you're using that language, I get to go, now it opens up possibilities to continue creating the life possible for you.
I love that, Albert. I love that way and that perspective of looking at things. I'm the first one to say, if you say negative things to yourself, you will forever be in a negative space. So I agree with you on that. So Albert, tell us a little bit about who Albert is. Who is this person that I'm introducing to the audience?
Well, now I'm an ontological coach and meditation trainer. And what ontology is basically the study of being and what exists. How are we existing in time? How are we how is our beingness. So what that really comes out to, in layman's terms, is we become the observer of our life. Where in coaching we get to we get to co-create together a plan for your life, for the client's life, and they get to observe it. And like you mentioned, there's times where we get to a certain place in life and you say, why does this keep happening to us? What's happening? So through ontology and coaching, we look at it and say, what are the patterns that we continue doing? So a set of eyes, another set of eyes, a set of thinking, because some people are already fixed in their own worldview of saying, nothing good happens to me. Well, guess what? You're also resonating that, so nothing good is going to happen to you. So it's a process of breaking things down, of breaking down the language, the patterns, the things people want to do. But most importantly, we take them from the present time, as opposed to, and I'll give you a little distinctions from therapists, counselors, and life coaches. So we work with present forward, where the other two can go back into time, into mental health, a bunch of these other issues. That is totally fine. It's just two different things. We go from today forward, and again, we co-create a plan for someone else's well-being.
Awesome. Well, I love the way you look at things, and I can't help it but notice how mellow you are. You're actually doing something to my energy right now. You're making me like calm down. And I'm not a calm down person, okay? I'm an energizer bunny. I'm always going and going and going and going. So tell me, is this how you were always in the past?
No. And let me touch on something really quick. So what's happening right now is you're mirroring me. So you pick up the same energy and we just tone it down a little bit and we go from there. But to answer the question, no, I wasn't always like this. I had a pretty dark past at one point, 13 years of drug and alcohol abuse. And it was one of those things where I got caught up in my own patterns of, why am I here? Why am I doing these things? But at a certain time, I always knew that at some point I was going to break out of it. I just didn't know how. And this is going to sound kind of crazy for some people out there, but I'm grateful for cancer in my life, because when cancer struck me, it opened up a whole new world for me. So it gave me more possibilities. It was a time and point where now I had to make a decision of, how do I want to live the rest of my life? So I just completely stopped everything. You know, some people go through rehab, and I didn't have to go through that. Luckily, you know, like I said, God was with me. So at that point, I made a decision and I stopped.
Awesome. Okay. And yes, I am mirroring you. I felt my energy being about this high, you know, nerves and everything going on. And then all of a sudden it just started I felt that. So you got something around you. I urge people to be around you. All right. So tell me a little bit of your life. Where are you from?
I grew up in Boyle Heights. Actually, this is a funny story. I was born in Glendale. And there's always a joke about that I was switched at birth because I look Armenian. And grew up in Boyle Heights, the youngest of 7, grew up without a father. I met him. I knew who he is, but he just didn't grow up in the household. And it was challenging, you know, being the youngest of 7. The older one above me is 5 years old. So it was just kind of like, you know, I grew up with the neighborhood kids, my best friends. And luckily I had the park nearby, which that's where I used to go. That was my safe space, you know, it's our safe place to go to. And, you know, I played ball all day and I was very good at it.
What position did you play, or what did you do?
I'm sorry.
Yeah, what did you play?
I played infield, shortstop, and second base, and I also pitched. I had some of my best times at that park, at Evergreen Park in Boyle Heights, and it was it's one of those near and dear places to me, because it really, nice. I want to say it saved my childhood.
Boyle Heights, huh? The only thing I know in Boyle Heights or any in that area, that's Boyle Heights, California. Are you a Cholo?
No, luckily, I'm telling you, I found the glove in the basement because the cholos were right next door to me, and that was the first person that I ended up meeting. So it was very easy to go into that. But at that time, in in the late '70s, there was more people playing sports than there was gang banging. So it was one of those things where, okay, and my oldest brother was a cholo, so it was something that I didn't want to go that way. So
Right. You kind of knew the life. Well,
yeah.
let's say hello to some of the friends. This is Monday morning. So hopefully you got something to cheer with. We always like cheering with our audience because we know that they're eating lunch or taking a break just to be with us. So let's say hello. Jen Villarreal. She says, hello, happy Monday. Excited to see my friend Albert. He's beyond awesome. Oh, you got a fan club.
Yes. I actually, I'm working with Jen in what we call the Inner Child Workshop. So, which connects our adulthood to our childhood. There's so many things as adults that we continue to, again, like I mentioned earlier, the patterns. And a lot of those come from our upbringing. And these workshops go into a deep dive to see how we can break those patterns, how to connect, and at the same time create what's really happening today instead of still thinking of those realities that we think were realities from growing up. Because some of us still stay in those stories forever.
Yeah, it's those chains, right, from our childhood. Oh, that would be wonderful. So Jen and you kind of work together with that. That's wonderful.
Yes.
All right, so let's say hello to Gio. Calderon. I'm going to say it the right way, okay? I'm sure the pronunciation for the American population is Calderon. So he's saying happy Monday. Hi, Gio. Thank you for being here. And one of our best friends from Lunch with Faride, Frank Ingram. Good afternoon. Happy Monday, everyone. I have to give him a shout out. So I'm going to share something with you, Albert. So, I sometimes have the privilege of some of the fans or some of the people that watch us, they'll send me gifts. They'll send me things. Usually they're promoting something, right? So if they create t-shirts, they'll send me a t-shirt. If I've had people give me glasses. Their company makes glasses, so I'll take a picture, that good stuff. So I love promoting. I don't do it for any exchange of anything. If you're a business and somehow you reach me, I'll promote you. I don't care because I believe there's space for everybody. But Frank, oh my God, Frank gave me the best gift ever. He sent me something. He sent me a box. And I swear you would have thought I was a 5-year-old in a candy store. I have to show you. I'm going to do a little live later today showing what was in that box. But he called it the positivity box, something like that in my card. And I have to say, Frank, thank you so much for my box. I know I already texted you, but I have to make it public because either this guy is a freaking awesome catch because he's so thoughtful, or he has a good partner that has taught him, or maybe he's in tune with his inner child and knew exactly what to send me in that box to make just my whole entire weekend so phenomenal. So I'll share it later. So stay in tune, okay, Albert? But it has to do with what you're talking about, positiveness, how to put positive things in your mind, your body, your soul, and keep moving forward. So just wanted to give a shout out to, there he is. He's saying a positivity package.
Frank. And just to touch on that, Faride,
yes,
there's no coincidence. Things happen the way they're supposed to happen. That's why they're happening right now. So this conversation and what he just sent you is meant to be.
That's awesome. Well, we got great people talking great things about you. So we got Jen Villarreal. She's saying hashtag freedom. That's right. Uh, and Frank wants to know, are you a cholo?
Not anymore.
Frank, do not quote me. You know, my Mexican always comes out in these interviews. Jezebel. Hi, Jezebel. Jezebel, this is my friend Albert. You guys are close to each other. You guys need to connect. Jezebel is such a great community leader. You know, she helps a lot of the community with any type of small business loans and all that. So that's awesome. Then we have somebody named Mona. She's watching. So you say hi, Mona. Hi, Mona. Thank you for joining us today. Our great friend Cecile. Cecile, hola. Happy birthday, Cecile. I know it was your birthday this weekend. So let's say hi to Alexander Albert. Albert, he says, Albert's discipline and wise approach to life has changed mine and my business. Attract abundance. Tell us a little bit about that. And thank you, Alexander, for your comments.
Thank you, Alex. Actually, I met Alex a couple of years ago, and something drew me to him. He's in his when I met him, he was in his mid-20s. And I have a son that's in his mid-20s. So automatically, it was just like we drew to each other. And over the period of time, it was about 2 years ago when I started the courses. And it was I just always reached out to him to share, you know, I knew some of his personal stuff that he had shared with me. And we just connected because I looked at it as in a sense of, you know, being a leader and helping him out.
Okay. All right. Well, hey, that's what it's all about, Albert. It's about touching people's lives as you go along. So how does Albert decide to become an ontological life coach?
Wow. So publicly, I'm gonna give a shout out to Luis Arandia, as he took a stand for me. So I wasn't in a good place at that time. And I get a phone call one day and he says, hey, what are you doing this weekend? I said, nothing. And he goes, well, great. I just signed you up for this course. He goes, you'll like it. Just trust the process. Trust in me. And I was like, okay. So I ended up booking the hotel. Went through it was 3 days with Spectrum Life Design at the time with Dr. Ray Blanchard and Daniel Paraski. Both of them been in transformational work for years, many years. So I've been blessed to work with them. And that Sunday, it's just like everything that I experienced and hearing from everybody else in my group, it was about 30 of us. I made a declaration that Sunday in front of my class that I would become a life coach and, you know, and finish the courses. And I still have one commitment to make, to complete, I should say. And at that point, I just did. Like I said, I declared it. And 2 years later, here I am. So the power of manifestation and declaration work.
That's awesome. You know what? I love hearing stories like that, because one of the messages that I'd like you to, you know, share with the audience is that you don't need to be perfect. You don't need, your life doesn't need to be a perfection or an example for any of the first part of your life. But once something happens, if bad things continue to happen over and over and over and over, it's time for you to check it, like check yourself, right? And I'm going to talk about me. Is I check myself if the same wrong things keep happening over and over and over. And that's when I know, hey, it might not be life. It might not be luck. It might be me. I'm the one that's causing something in my life. And then all it takes is a friend like Alex to come along, right? And say, hey, you need to do something about it. And just trust that process. I love that. I love what he told you. Because many times we give advice or we receive advice and we tend to never receive it the way it's intended, right? So coming to that, I want to ask you something. So when I give advice, I usually never expect people to follow it. I just give it. It's just my opinion, right? It's just another outlook. But one of the things I always say is I've always been told or given an advice that I've never followed. And I need you to teach me on this. And I think I told you before. People tell me, hey, because you're always going and going and going and your energy is always so up, sometimes you just need to meditate. Sometimes you just need to take a step back. But Albert, I got a confession. I start doing that, and 3 seconds into my attempt, my brain starts shooting every single other thing that comes, the life has faced me. So please take this time as much as you can and take us through a meditation trainer or a quick overview of how you can help people with this aspect.
First of all, and thank you. As you're trying to meditate, what happens? I'll set up the groundwork, and just the way you can understand what we go up against. And it's scientifically proven that we have 50 to 80,000 thoughts per day. 90% of those are negative. 90% of those are from the day before. So just to understand, to try to create positivity in your life, what you're going up against, or to try to silence the mind is what you're going up against. So in the practice of meditation, and the most popular one is mindfulness, of being the observer, being mindful of your breathing, observing the breathing, which really quick, if everybody wants to do this and tune in here, sit up straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath in, let it out. What you want to do in the next breath is focus on the breath when it starts at the nostrils. Breathe in, feel it in the back of the throat, and let it out, and feel it as it comes out. And you're focusing on that. And it's okay if your mind goes left or mind goes right, as long as you come back to the breath. And that's the practice of mindfulness. That's the practice of meditation, where you can sit for hours and hours and hours. I mean, it takes practice, like everything. That's why it's called, a meditation practice. So I learned through my course about 16, 18 different ones, but practicing mindfulness it's what we do on a daily basis, where it's observing the breath, where sitting still. Start off with 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, graduate to 10, go to 30 if you can. But in the process of that, you have these little things in your brain that are called neurotransmitters. So we're left brain thinkers, and your right brain starts saying, hey, and they start connecting, and it's opening up for new thought, new possibilities. So at that point, new actions you start creating. So that's what the power of meditation, and it has many benefits other than just calming down, low blood pressure. It just happened. Like for me, it's helped me so much overall. Been doing it for a little bit over a year now.
Well, it's definitely on my to-do list to master. So that's one of my goals, right, this year, is to master that. And I have to actually add a little point on that. So as my mom was going through her COVID experience, right, at the end of 2020 during the holidays, I have very many friends who are doctors. Thankfully, I'm a lucky girl, right, to have all kinds of pharmacists, doctors, surgical people, and all kinds of people in my life, which I'm so grateful for. And so the first thing I did when my mom got sick and I had to take care of her was call all of them. All of them got a call. And I said, I need your take on this. How do I take care of my mom? How do I make sure my mom is not a statistical result, on this? Mm-hmm. And I have to say, whether it was a medical doctor, a scientific doctor, whatever, or a holistic doctor, all of them said the same thing. They said, I told them that my mom had a tendency of worrying. She was a person that worried a lot, that was always worried about, because she watches the news, because she watches, she listens to everybody and their grandma, the neighbor, the senior in the corner, she listens to everybody, the meat market guy, doesn't matter. She'll take advice from anybody that gives it. So I was telling all my friends that my mother had a problem concentrating and just like being in tune of what she really felt instead of listening to everybody else. So one of my doctor friends, or one of my friends who is works directly with doctors, said, you know what, Faride, you need to practice meditation with your mom. That way, when she's all worried, we had like the oxygen monitor, we had the vital monitors, we had the temperature monitors, we had everything in place. But one of the things that helped is that when her oxygen started going low, with her breathing, and her blood pressure started like hijacking or, rising, I had to teach her how to meditate. So do you think that helps? How is that helping?
Absolutely, because again, you start breathing in more oxygen and it starts moving through your body and through, circulating the blood. And I'm not going to get into all the other medical terms because I'm not a doctor, but it helps. It just really helps to get everything moving. And it could be a paradigm shift where you start just breathing or slowing down, and you can let go of certain stresses and anxieties and stuff like that. It definitely.
Art Luna is asking, hi Art, thank you for your question. He's asking, does this help get oxygen to the brain? So does the meditation help?
Most definitely. Again, you're just taking more, you're breathing in patterns, and there's different types of meditations that you can breathe faster, heavier, and some of them you got to be careful, because if you're new at it, I wouldn't recommend it, because you may pass out. Yeah, I've worked with people, and they said, oh, I'm feeling something. I said, okay, great, sit down. And again, there's all levels of meditation, so I wouldn't recommend going there right away.
Well, I recommend people going to you, because we don't want anybody passing out and saying, oh, we did it because Lunch with Faride said to do it. And then now we got lawsuits going around. So he's saying that he's going to try this daily to see how much clarity I get. Thanks, Coach. So that's awesome. Thank you, Art.
Art.
So if somebody wanted to coach with you, if somebody wanted to learn from you, where do they find you, Albert?
They could call me directly on my number, 626-234-5079.
Okay, say that again,
626-234 5079, or my email at adcoach333@gmail.com.
Okay, I'm going to post it on there. So you said AD like David for Duarte, coach333@gmail.com. And the phone number is 626-234-5079. Yes?
Yes.
Awesome. So let's put that on the screen so people can jog it down and get a hold of you if you guys need any type of coaching or meditation, or simply say hi and thank you for what you heard today. Send them a little text or an email, and it's always good to have people like you on your cell phone list, right?
Right.
So what do you want people to know as a final message? We're coming to the end of the show. Thank you so much for teaching us. Give us as a final thought, what you think people should be concentrating on right now in these rough times?
Again, it's being mindful, really understanding where they're at, and to not create the attachment that's happening right now, where we attach ourselves to a lot of the things that we cannot control, which creates the the anxiety, the depression, all this other stuff that's going on around us. And finally, it's never too late to change where you're at. I found my purpose at age 48. So if you feel that you're stuck at a place, reach out. I give you the help. I have a community of coaches. I have 30 of them with Ideal Coaching Global. So it's just not me. I come with an army. And, lastly, it's, how much longer are you going to stay in a place that's giving you negative results?
Wow, that's powerful. You just dropped the mic on that question. So don't stay there too long, guys. Make sure that if you need help, get it.
Reach out.
Do not deprive yourself from getting the right help. Well, it was a pleasure having you, Albert, and everybody that was with us today. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to reach our own channel. So please subscribe. And we'll see you next Monday at 12:15 with another session of Lunch with Faride. And reach out 626-234-5079. We will see you next week. Thank you, everybody.
Nothing can stop me. I'm all the way. I'm all the way.